before we go live, I remember telling Mohammed, I am forever ready. Now I'll tell you why I said that. Of course, when we came over here, we were expecting to have our main speaker join us, because before we go in focus, in fact, before we host any of our programs, we have a brochure that is already out, of course, notifying our viewers of what the program is going to be for a particular, of course, Saturday, that which is every Saturday that we do the show. Unfortunately, today it was not so, it didn't materialize, because when we came, we've got all the logistic set, we've got all the materials, everything in place. Unfortunately, as the wording says, man proposes but God disposes. That's what happened to us today. However, that did not stop us. I remember when I told Mohammed that never give up. He told me never give up, regardless, we would still go ahead. So the main speaker was not able to make it. We therefore would use this opportunity and wish her a speedy recovery. That was to be Jenaba Sonko. Of course, if you're a follower of the Gambian media, you would realize that she is a presenter at one of the TV stations. So Jenaba, we are wishing you speedy recovery, and hopefully we would have you someday on Generation Next. We're always happy as the platform is created for young persons. So we are always happy when we have young persons on this platform. Of course, we continue the movement, we continue the inspiration, we continue the motivation. That is why we are up and running. So I was really, really happy that on our In Focus, we had Mohammed. And I'm sure you all know who Mohammed is. Currently, he's the one taking the video. So he was the one we had in focus, and of course it was about his life journey. Although it was a spontaneous, narration, this has also gone to show that in life, planned things are not always the best. Spontaneous things turns out to be the best. I was really, really comfortable when I had Mohammed on the platform, and I must say I learned a lot. At this point, I would let him. Perhaps he might have some questions to ask
Right,
me.
right, definitely, Sirra. Just like you said, this is an event that we had planned to have Geneva Sonko, but because of some technical issues, and this also coincided with her not feeling well, she couldn't join us, and we had to take it online. But we had some technical issues on that, and it just became not working for us. Notwithstanding, just like you said, we want to keep going as Generation Next. Nothing is gonna stop us. So as a result, we keep pushing.
Of course.
And this is why I was dragging again, like you guys drag me the other time. to,
Well,
to,
okay, I know what
to,
you're trying to do.
yeah.
We did not drag him. I think it's also important to bring in those that are behind the scene, because, of course, it's clearly showed that he is the one making it happen. Whenever you see us on TV, whenever you see us live on the Facebook, on Zoom, of course, we are just there to talk. But it's also imperative to recognize those who are making it happen. So this is why we felt that it was necessary to actually bring him on board, because he's always there to make sure that the program goes live, and of course we continue the movement. I shall reiterate this. I love to say this. Generation Next, we are here to motivate, to inspire, to guide young persons' participation in the developing society, because we know our story. Who best to tell the story than us? So we will be able to relate best to these young persons, that are facing challenges in life. Challenges is part of the journey. Pitfalls is part of the journey. Problems is part of the journey. So the program, the fact that our main host or our main speaker was not able to make it, did not stop us. We didn't stumble. We still put on our shoes and we said we were gonna make it happen because of you. We promised you that we would always be here every Saturday. Now the program, I think, is every Saturday we are here because of the In Focus program we've created. It used to be once every month, every Saturday of the month that we come, but now we've got the every Saturday of the month, but also we've got every 2 weeks Saturday of the month as well. So it's all geared towards continuing the movement, and so long we are alive, we will continue to bring this program for you. Mohammed, you can continue the question. I'm in the mood.
Obviously, Sira.
Yeah.
Yeah, so today it was about me. I had given some brief stories because this is spontaneous.
Right.
During those conversations, you've heard what I have said. What is it that you have taken from those conversations
Yes.
and that has perhaps resonated with you and so many other young people as well that you can tell us about?
Yeah, so it's important that you ask this question because you've mentioned something in your narration. You've talked about being patient. You know, I said that the problem that we are facing, especially us young persons, is because we're impatient. And vividly again, I remember when I told you that, may his soul rest in perfect peace, my granddad, whenever I go for him and seek advice, what he always tells me is, Sarah, be patient. Because in life, take a scenario from which or from when you were born, you were not able to walk immediately. It took you time. You were able to crawl. But before you stand, you were falling. You try to stand, and then eventually you were able to walk. All those moments took time. So I'm really happy, I was really happy when you mentioned patient. This has goes a long way to show that in life, one needs to be very patient. And also you talked about, I'm happy that your dad was the very person who was able to inspire you. Because I vividly remember when I said that it's really difficult in the surroundings we find ourselves. Oftentimes we don't get the motivation we deserve. So your dad was there to affirm, to motivate you, to tell you, who has seen something that he thought if you are focusing it more, it would yield dividend. And he is right. Here you are today. So this is a lesson that we all need to learn from. And I'm happy that you mentioned that patience. Please be patient. Wherever situation or whatever situation you find yourself in, you need to be patient.
Absolutely. Patience pays off. In life, whatever we do, we have to make sure that that comes with patience, and we need to make sure that we keep motivating ourselves and things like that. So I'm grateful that eventually the show went on because of the circumstances surrounding it.
Right.
And that shows that we are very determined and to make sure that we continue our journey. And determination is also part of what makes things work.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes, determination plays a very important role. Affirmation plays a very important role. You need to know who you are. You need to know your self-worth. I always say this because waiting for a particular person to come and tell you, yes, you can do it. You might not get it.
Absolutely.
So sometimes you don't need anybody telling you, yes, you can do it. You need to sit yourself down. This is why most people are into meditation. Sometimes you try to meditate, you sit, try to have that quiet moment wherein you're able to think. It's important that you do that because there becomes a time in your life when you feel you are worthless, when you feel you're down, when you feel you're not being motivated, when you feel, can I really do it? Yes, it does happen. It happens to me.
Right, yeah.
It's always happening to me.
Right.
It's a work in progress.
Right.
So yes, you need those moments wherein you're able to sit, take that step, be able to be your own motivator. You know what I mean? So be determined in life as well. Don't give up easily. Giving up easily means you are a failure. And we don't want to be a failure. And I'm certain how the country is going, how the Gambia is going, we all depend on young persons, because whoever you talk about, they're like, young persons are the future leaders. But it's also important to know what kind of leaders do we want to have. It's also important to know what role can you play, because as I said, as a citizen, we all have a role to play in our country. So what role can you play? You listening, you watching us, what role can you play? Well, this is what generation can do. That's what generation next can do. We wish we could facilitate, give cash, but I believe the cash becomes worthless if the right education is not inflicted in our minds, because we wouldn't know how to use it. So the voice is what we have, and we would continue to use that voice. And I hope you're inspired with all the information that Generation Next, of course, has been sharing, with all the stories, with all the life puddles we've been sharing. It's all geared towards inspiring you out there.
Indeed, indeed. It's all geared to that. Thank you very much, Sirra. I think
You must welcome
we
Daddy.
we will continue talking about this, and we can have a stop on it.
Obviously.
So just on a final note, we get to the segment where, interestingly, you'll be talking to the viewers and thanking them to continue giving us their feedback, to help us improve ourselves, every
Exactly.
now and then.
Exactly. So I shall continue, be consistent, eh? I didn't mention that. So we are always consistent. And I'm also always consistent in saying that it's important that you share your feedback because we have different opinions. Like Halifa Sada said, I do not argue with opinions, I respect them. So it's important that you do. We all have different way of looking at things, so it's important that you let your feedback comes in. Let us know how the show has impacted you, if it does. Even if it doesn't impact you, let us know what we need to do to make sure that it does. If not you, to someone else. Please share. If you like this program, if you like our platform, inform your friends, share it. Let's be better together. So thank you
Absolutely.
so much. We are happy. Generation Next is happy. And thanks to the whole team, Mohammed. Thanks to you in particular for the persistent, for the determination, for the encouragement. Thank you so much.
Speaking of the whole team, I must say I'm grateful for every one of you. You in particular, Sirra, and we have Hadi, SBI, Keba. You have Pamalik in Nigeria. Who else? Kemo in the UK,
Kemo.
and of course Fanta as well.
If
So
we don't mention you, we are human.
yeah.
Thank you.
So all of you, we are grateful, and you, the viewers as well, and you, the followers, we are so grateful. As Sirra said, we thank you all for keep on following us, and until we meet again, Sirra.
It's a cheers and stay safe. Bye.